And we are live. Good evening, everybody out there. Welcome to Let's Talk, Real Talk on Parental Alienation page with Andy Martens here. We haven't seen Andy in so
Yeah,
long,
I'm
but
back. Yeah,
you're back. But tonight's show, we are all from Ontario, Canada, so this is good for our legislators to watch as well so that they can understand what we are trying to do in getting cameras in our family courtrooms, because this case that we're going to listen to tonight, Andy, I mean, we're confused, right? Because it's got nothing to do with a child, a marriage, or anyone living with someone, but yet he's in family court. What do you think about that one?
I don't know, Mary. This is really something, in the province of Ontario with 14 and a half, 14.7 million people. I didn't think that this was possible, but this gentleman's from Burlington, and lo and behold, we're here with it. It's just mind-boggling. We've been doing a lot of shows in the last 5 years.
That we have. So, to say the least, here we have Lee Dobson from Burlington, Ontario. Welcome, Lee. Andy is from the Sioux, St. Marie. I know I used to know a lot of people up that way, and I have family living up that way too, and it's pretty far out. But yet we're still very damn close, because I'm here in Hamilton, only 30 minutes from Toronto and like 10 minutes from Lee. And I found them on a podcast on YouTube while I was doing my own research on family courts, and I'm so happy that I got to run into him, because this just goes to show the importance why we need cameras. And our Attorney General needs to, and Premier Doug Ford to understand what's going on. I mean, why would you be in family court? Um, Go ahead, Lee. Give us a description, like quickly, on what got you to that.
Yeah, we want to start from the beginning to get a
Okay.
good grasp on this because this is very unique in the province of Ontario.
Yes. Well, thank you for having me. And so I got basically I was renting an ex-girlfriend's basement. She had I was living in Burlington. This was December 2021. I had a place. I had a deal that fell through, and basically all of my belongings was in a U-Haul truck for 10 days. I was scrambling around. I couldn't find a place. Um, So I reached out to my ex and I asked her if her rental basement was available. Ironically enough, her tenant was moving out on December the 9th, around the same time I called her. So the following day, I had moved up. I had driven, I was living in Burlington, working in Toronto. And then so we made the arrangements that I would move my stuff into this rental unit, and we agreed on paying rent every month. Um, so I was renting this basement. It wasn't working out because she just didn't like the living arrangements, but that's what it was. She did a solid by letting me move in. Um,
Well, she didn't like the living arrangement, but she agreed to letting you move in.
Correct. Like I had a whole kitchen, bathroom, washer, dryer, bedroom, separate entrance. Um, we agreed on $750 a month of rent. And some people question that amount. And
This
we
was
try,
back in 2021 during COVID
correct,
then.
correct, yes. And what happened was it was fast forward to, I guess now we're in February. We're at the beginning of February, middle February there. And it's just, she does not want me to stay down there. So she's asking me to leave. I said,
Okay,
fine.
hold on. And let me backtrack. She was your ex-girlfriend in December of 2021. Is that correct?
We broke up before then.
Okay, what happened? You dated her. How long did you date her? Is there anything that happened with her during your relationship that may have led to this?
Yeah, she basically bought a house in Cambridge, and it was a gut job. I spent 14 months demolishing her house. I never got paid, and that's what kind of started this. I guess really kind of shifted everything. Even when we were dating, it was just now it was just work. It wasn't really even dating at that time. I was just working. Um, and so I did that for 14 months, and I stopped around the beginning of 2021 in the middle there, and I called it quits. And then it just I had my own place in Burlington near Waterdown and the highway there, and basically a deal had fallen through. Um,
Waterdown is near Hamilton, maybe what, 15 minutes or something like that?
yeah, it was still Burlington, Aldershot, like Waterdown Road and Plains area.
Right.
That's
So
where I live.
yeah, so yeah, you're familiar with the area.
I'm from that area. My address is Waterdown, but
Okay.
I live in Frilton.
Okay.
Railton, yeah.
So that's where I was living, and I stayed there for a year, and it was a new build. It was falling apart, and something that happened with the landlord. I think they flagged me with other landlords. I couldn't get a place for the life of me. At one point, I was offering 1 year paid rent. Licensed electrician, credit score is 800. I couldn't figure it out why no one would rent to me. Everyone's like, "Why are you looking for a place?" So that's when I made the call. My last resort was to say, "Hey, is your basement available?" And then I had moved up there, but she admitted through the courts that we had broken up in 2021 prior to moving in. So it's kind of like this gray area almost of
How
like,
did you meet this woman? I'm still not getting what I was hoping to get from.
okay,
You know,
I
I'm just grasping at straws here to
yes.
find
So we
out why it led to where you're at now.
so we did date from I met her at a bar actually in Kitchener in 2018. Um, and basically I was living in Toronto. I went out with my uncle that night, and I had met her at a bar. Um, 2018, I believe it was.
Right.
And then it was just, you know, it was there was an age gap between us of like 23 years.
Oh, okay. So you're 23 years older than she is?
No, she's 23 years older than me.
Oh, okay.
The
So
older
it was
woman.
so
Oh, the older women like younger men, I guess. Yeah.
right. And what I didn't really realize until later on, but she was going through this high profile divorce in the Kitchener-Waterloo courthouse.
Okay. Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, now the story. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Unraveling it.
So she's
We're
very
not laughing
familiar.
at you. We're just trying
No,
to rack our brains on
absolutely.
family court still. Like, where did this come from?
Well, and yeah. So there is a history of dating, but like the trial judge, when we I couldn't get out of this for the life of me. I sent offers to settle. So what happens is March 28th, 2022, I get illegally evicted from her lawyer. She's retained a lawyer from Toronto. I'm at work in Toronto. I get an email saying, your stuff's all on the front lawn. You better get movers.
Oh,
So,
oh my goodness.
so I'm like, I had to leave my job earlier
For what? Why did you get evicted?
because the lawyer, and I share this email often. This was the first correspondence with this lawyer from Toronto. Ironically, this lawyer's under investigation from the Law Society Tribunal. They're trying to prosecute him. It's all over the internet, which I have no problem sharing names because
Have you
everything's
sent it
factual.
to
Pardon?
Oh,
I
Andy?
thought I was thrown out. Yeah. I thought I just got booted out. Yeah, can you share that with Mary, this thing, or
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. So it started
She's
with an
more of a
email.
legal expert than I am.
Yeah,
Well,
like
I'm not a lawyer. I just been
No.
through the family court, criminal court, divorce court. I mean, hey,
Okay, so this woman was
We dated.
high profile divorce. She was obviously more, was she well off, had more money than you did? Or
She did. She did. Her ex-husband was very successful. He's like electrical engineer. He does very well for himself. Never met him. I got nothing but the utmost respect from him, from what I see and what I hear. And yeah, they were together for 25, 30 years, and then we just happened to meet. And you know, I to be honest, I felt used for those 14 months renovating
yeah,
her
I was
house.
just gonna say that. It sounds like she wasn't honest with you from the word go.
Yeah,
I was just
there's
saying to Andy, I'm watching this Netflix. Um, Same thing. The young lady that got, conned by a money grabber is now an investigator. So she's helping people out there that are dealing with stuff like this, because it's all,
right,
the corruption is so bad out there that they're being bred, these kind of people, to rip us off or to, take us to court and, to get things. And it's just so wrong.
right,
So where are you
absolutely.
right now with this? Like, what is it that you have come to in court facing, what consequences? What's going
So
on?
I get illegally evicted on March 28th, 2022. I move all my stuff. I had to call the Waterloo police that day, and basically I told them, "Hey, I'm illegally evicted." They let me kick in the door, and I never got charged. I kicked in that door to get my stuff back in. It's in the peak of COVID. It's in winter. It's harsh conditions. I had these three exotic fish that ended up dying. I had over $10,000 of my property damaged. April 8th, I'm able to move all of my items out of the residence, and I move back to Burlington with family. Next month, May, I get served with a restraining order. And basically, it was a meritless, malicious restraining order. This is a woman I've never had any domestic issues with.
Is this
Um,
is this for the incident that you kicked the door in with the police
no,
officers there? Oh,
it's
okay,
well, it's not for that incident. No,
okay.
I think it was mentioned like as if I did something wrong, like I was thrown out in the winter, locks were changed. It was inhumane, and it was all from this lawyer, John David Ekping, who's the lawyer. I made a post with all these psychotic emails. He's the one that orchestrated the whole thing, and
Wow.
I really question his credentials, because from his behavior, he doesn't file forms, doesn't show up. There's a lot of incompetent actions done by this lawyer. So it's almost like he's taking this on personally. So it's basically that's where it all started. I'm in family court for a restraining order with a woman I was never married with, had children, or lived with. She admitted to the Waterloo police. I was paying rent. I was living in the basement. She applied to the landlord tenant board for an eviction application. All of my stuff at all times was always in the rental unit and nowhere else in the house. We were not cohabitating. We were not common law. She was not my spouse. So this is, like I say most of the time, I'm convinced I'm dealing with Canada's most corrupted family court case in Canadian history. Um, I know there's a lot of messy situations, but hey, the three main basic elements, living together, children, marriage, they should have known from the very beginning that did not apply. And it's simple. It's like I'm looking here at Rule 2, interpretation. 2, primary objective 2. The primary objective of these rules is to enable the court to deal with cases justly. You go down to rule number 4, duty to promote primary objective. The court is required to apply these rules to promote the primary objective, and parties and their lawyers are required to help the court to promote the primary objective. So right there from the very beginning, all of the rules were disregarded in my case. I was I sent offers to settle. They would always respond with extortion money. I couldn't get out of family court unless I paid $20,000. And
Wow.
that was 3 months into the case. And then in June of 2023, I tried to get out of it again. They wanted $27,000. And I'm like, for what? This was all about extortion. This was a, a doesn't get any more clear of abuse of the courts. And the courts, the court staff, the judges involved, all gave these two, this lawyer and my ex, um, a canvas to abuse me. And they're still doing it to this day. They will not leave me alone.
You're a
Um,
target.
yeah,
You're
and
targeted.
you know, um,
You need to be careful out there because, it's no different than what's going on in the States where they're taking people off the streets and putting them into El Salvador. And, it's scary. It's
it
not
is.
a safe world anymore. And if you've been dealing with shit like this, what's going to happen next? You
Well,
know?
yeah, they're trying to put me in contempt in court for my YouTube
Hmm.
channel, and I'm like, you can go ahead, do it all you want, because I've done nothing wrong. I haven't. I'm being truthful. I'm being honest, and I have nothing to gain to bash or mislead anybody. But I feel like I'm being silenced, and this is
Hmm.
the best remedy is to speak about it in a factual and calm manner. And it's tough sometimes to be calm about it.
Well, this is a good example of dating and meeting women in a bar might not be the safest way to do it.
Right.
There is a chance that you can end up with somebody like you did.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's not like, I never anticipated any of this stuff. She was actually a good person. But then I just seen this switch flip on of this like dark.
Well, you were love bombed.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
definitely.
You were love bombed. They don't take long. I mean, if you watch this Netflix series with the Ten Swindler, I keep going blank on it, but I'll get the name. On how they only court you for the first month to start getting the money out of you, to con you for something else. It doesn't take long anymore. They're fast. These are professional cons that could manipulate a situation. Don't let her fool you. I mean, she did it good. She was quick on it. But
to
to
be
put you
honest,
through family court is just ridiculous.
it's not really her. It's her incompetent lawyer, and it's this court staff,
That
and it's
too.
these
The lawyer.
judges.
Yes. Yes,
It's
you're right.
it's the amount
100%.
of unsigned, uncommissioned affidavits and applications that this court staff accepted and told me to take it up with a judge. It fast forward to November 2023, we get before Justice Martha Antweedy. She has rejected 2 trial schedule endorsement forms from this judge, from this lawyer. She now takes it upon herself and fills out the rejected forms that Rule 17, Sub Rule 11 in the family law states parties, not a judge, must fill out, serve, and file this form before any trial is scheduled. That was never done. And when I went to order the audio recordings, she denied them and she referenced something that doesn't even exist in the consolidated practice, something, I forget the name of it. Whatever she referenced doesn't exist. After I paid $300 for the transcripts from that November 2023 hearing, she had blocked out nearly 2 pages of transcripts. Now, that to me is very suspicious and shady. And to me, that seems like she's covering up something, some serious judicial abuse. And I can't get anywhere uncovering that. The Canadian Judicial Council refuses to investigate. The Minister of Justice is ignoring me. The Attorney General is ignoring me. And these these politicians, these provincial, they're just silencing me. And here I am now. I owe $110,000 in court costs. Interest is piling up like Vegas. this lawyer will not accept any payment plan. So yeah, it's been difficult to say the least dealing with this family court.
That's crazy. It's insane.
Right. Yeah. Well, a year ago, I was out in Windsor making the best money I've ever made. I took an out of town call. But you know what? My whole time in Windsor was miserable because I'd work 6 10s and I come back and then I'm working on these cases that I could never get out. And it always resonated with me that I feel like I am stuck in a web of psychotic behavior and I cannot get out.
Yeah. I've been there for 20 years. 20 years of this. I'm in the family court as well and criminal court, but I know the difference between your case. It should not be in that.
No.
And why would they put you there? Is it because the criminal court is overblogged? You know, like really, we need to get
I
to the bottom of this. Is there anyone that you can contact? I mean, I've been looking, been searching my Google here to see who we could get an answer for, because this is wrong.
well, it's basically whoever oversees the Canadian Judicial Council because they're the problem.
Yes.
They have rejected 3 complaints and their responses are ridiculous. They refuse to investigate Justice Tweedy's blocked transcripts because I have been told that judges only review transcripts to fix grammar errors, not block out nearly 2 pages of transcripts. And, that's been very frustrating to try to get help with because it seems like she's covering something up, if I
Yeah.
was to ask.
Oh, for sure. So what we have to do is just keep looking into this deeper and deeper on how we can get you the help to get the hell out of there. Because, you shouldn't be responsible for something when you're in the wrong court, first of all.
Right.
I mean, I've seen cases dropped because they were in the wrong courts. I just went through a case, a $500,000 case that the judge or the lawyer was a paralegal and could never have taken on a case like that to lose something. And those are, devastating things. And I had my own trial lawyer being paid by legal aid. So I was lucky that legal aid caught him to do all these criminal activities. But he got disbarred in the middle of my trial. And, that left me scrambling. If there were cameras in the court to see all this stuff, it would never have gone that far, because what they do is they're trying to make you ill, broke, so that you commit suicide and that you go away. And my only best advice to you is to stay healthy. And you look like a healthy young man that, you could fight your way through this and stay strong. Because, we need people like you to show the community out there what's really happening behind closed doors, because they won't let us have advocates come into courtrooms. They won't let you have cameras, recordings of any kind of device. It is our rights to have a recording in the courtroom. I mean, that's what I advocate here, and I've been asking Premier Doug Ford and the Attorney General to pass. They don't even have to do anything; just sign that off and get cameras flipped on so that they could, accountability is important, and the transparency. And without it, you're like a shit up the creek, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's so wrong.
Oh yeah, the judicial.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah,
No,
go
sorry,
ahead.
I apologize. I just did the judicial abuse that I've been like forced to deal with is so staggering, and I've got a lot of compelling supporting documents for this judicial abuse that I faced. But sorry to interrupt.
No, it's okay. It's your story.
All Doug Ford has to do is sign an order to put cameras in the courtroom, and then it goes down. It's as simple as a signature. It's not, the ministers have to follow his directive.
Well, that's it. And, they just put $165 million into the family courtrooms, actually all courtrooms in Ontario, 165 million of hybrid hearings. And what's happening with that? Now they want to shut it down because they're getting all these scams going into the courtrooms, right? But you know what? That's easy to fix. They're using that as an excuse to shut Zooms off now. No. Don't shut the Zooms off. I mean, this is our chance now to keep cameras, to have like cameras, right? So we can invite people to watch it.
If I was
So
making $400,000 a year, rolling out of bed and going on camera, I wouldn't want that to stop either.
no, well, that's it. So we got to wonder why the Attorney General is bragging about putting hybrid hearing into the courts when we're not even allowed to go. They shut us out and keep us in the green room.
Right.
It's just so insane. So, you know, if we could watch your case, we could be there, and then they'd
Yes.
really think twice on trying to scam you out of hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, that's no different than a stranger coming up to you and say, "Give me $100,000 or I'll shoot you."
Right.
That's
Right?
right.
Because the courts are doing it. They're literally putting a gun to your head by making you pay a bill that you shouldn't be paying.
Oh yeah. All the court costs that I owe is all fraudulent billing. They refuse to do an assessment. So here's the thing with my case. We went to a speak to, and I was working downtown Toronto at the big arena. My dream job as a kid, which I ended up losing because of this family court. Sitting in an electrical room for 3 hours for a speak to because the lawyer never showed up. Ended up being 4 hours. They schedule a trial. The trial schedule endorsement form was never filled out, served, and filed. Here's the other thing too. The restraining order application was never signed.
Oh,
This lawyer commissioned this document without his client's signature. I was served a trial record 8 days before the trial, which it should have been 20. And then I was given less than 24 hours notice for this trial. And when I went there, I brought this up to the judge, the trial judge, and he said, "Oh, well, we're here now. We're going to deal with it." Well, what's the point of having rules and laws if judges, court staff, and litigants aren't going to abide by them?
that's right.
And then I got railroaded. Her witnesses got caught lying. They made bogus statements. They admitted to being.
Perjury.
See, I have the audio recordings from that trial, and I would love to put it public if they haven't been tampered with, because I've had it's sometimes they do this, so I don't know. I've reviewed it, but I would love the public to hear the audio recording from that trial because the judge went off on this lawyer and caught him commissioning documents that were unsigned. He like lost his top. He's like, "I will make note of this." He never made note of anything. And you look at his endorsement, it is extremely contradictory to what actually happened in the submissions and the exhibits and the evidence. This judge just railroaded me into space for no good reason because he did not like me. And I'm convinced that I lost a trial because of a secretly recorded audio recording where my ex had called me up from the basement and she was pressing me, drilling me, and I got upset. And then when I got upset, she hit the record button. And a judge accepted that. The judge never heard the first part of it. All he heard was me like upset. And then I wrote a letter to the judge, which apparently you're not allowed to. And I
No, you
found out
can't.
later. I think
Yeah.
it's communications 2.2 or something.
Yeah, I
I'm
wrote one and almost went to prison.
excuse me. I am convinced that the judge made his decision based off that half audio recording and that letter. Because if you look at the exhibits and the evidence and the rules, it's a mess. And we got a big problem in these courthouses and how tax dollars are getting wrongly allocated to these services.
You're right. Yeah. Well, what you're doing is right. You're speaking out, and you know we need more people to support you and help you. This is a community issue. I mean, we all need to gather to see why this is happening in our judicial system. I mean, we taxpayers deserve the right to know why we are paying for this. You know, this is coming from taxpayers' money as
Yes.
well as and your money. So there's a double dipping situation right there.
I
And
think,
lawyers are not allowed to double dip.
well, that's the thing too. At this trial, on one of these unsigned commission documents, this lawyer admitted his client paid $7,000 block fee, and that's when the
Mm.
judge snapped on him. When I lost that 2-day rig trial, he ignorantly and foolishly submitted $160,000 for hours never worked and money never exchanged hands. And then the judge ordered me to pay $60,000 3 days after my 40th birthday. And then 72 days after that, without any communication how to make payment, he started a garnishment application. And that's when everything just went downhill. I have 25 emails begging and pleading to accept payment plan and unfreeze my bank accounts. They won't do it. They're just trying to bankrupt me and put me on the streets, which to be honest, it's not far off from happening.
Oh, I understand. The government shut my bank account down 3 times in less than 16 months back in 2013, 2014. It was just horrific, only
Right.
because I used my pension early. So they grabbed all the taxes from it, and they make you broke. I mean, because I spent 19 years in family court and criminal
Wow.
court. And it's so hard to get out of it. And what we have to do is file a motion. I believe it's a 15A for you to get
Mm.
your ex. Basically, she's your ex. Stop harassing you. You have to file a motion for that.
So here's the problem with that. I tried to do that. So while all this is happening, now they start a garnishment. They start a vexatious litigant application against me for 2 small claim cases, a landlord tenant, and a divisional court of appeal. I was begging and pleading. So here's the other thing. I tried to drop all the cases, but they're like, unless you give us 8 grand for this one, 8 grand for that one, we're not dropping it. I couldn't get out of it. This lawyer dropped off a vexatious litigant application in front of my door, which isn't proper service. And that went on from October to March in the same courthouse. All three hearings, um, he never confirmed his attendance, which is a rule. A motion should not be started if they don't. And then basically we get before Justice Ian Smith, the judge who was over that. I presented that case, and you can see on my YouTube channel, I recently just put out all of my submissions for all my cases for the public to see my materials, what I submitted, and what they slept on. And so what happened was this lawyer, he starts his vexatious litigant application for my ex against me. Canada Day long weekend, 100 days later, he gets back to me with his long endorsement, completely disregarded my submissions. They label me a vexatious litigant, not only against her, but against him. Here's the other thing. I sued him in small claims court. He never, for the damages caused in the eviction, he never filed a defense. He got noted in default, and then they rescheduled 2 assessment hearings. So yeah, this Kitchener Waterloo courthouse, these judges, these court staff, they did not abide by the rules. And to be honest, I think it comes back to this family court case and the judge, because they will not let me in. They were charged with perjury and submitting fraudulent documents. On the fourth appearance, they stayed the charges. Because this all falls back to the trial judge, Justice Michael Gibson, the only judge sitting in Ontario who has judicial training from the Canadian Armed Forces. And that's the problem I'm having. Nobody will go against his endorsement. And his endorsement is, it's riddled with errors of law and facts. He said, I called her, I emailed her, I was not a tenant, I breached my temporary restraining order. She tried to present all these private phone calls. Oh, it must be him. I showed my phone history. I never made those calls. At the trial, she admitted she never answered those calls. The email, she emailed herself. It's her two emails. I was not a tenant. I was a tenant. She withheld the police report that this judge saw in case lines admitting the living arrangements. And then he's saying I breached a temporary restraining order. I was never charged. I was never warned. So this is like straight up slander and defamation, and it's on
Right.
Canley. And they're just, I believe this judge did his research. He's seen at the time I had this criminal court going on. And if I was be asked, why is this happening? Because they're trying to hurt me for this criminal proceeding that is now turned into a multi-million-dollar lawsuit for a major police brutality case that I'm involved in. And they're all, yeah. So the problem is this trial judge, and he's the local senior judge. And I have a feeling he's influenced all the judges I've gone before, and they've just railroaded me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Once you start having a claim against the police or the government, you're screwed. You're basically screwed. And
yeah,
but
sorry.
yeah, so Andy, what do you got to say?
Well, I'm still dumbfounded, and I'm getting hungry, Mary. So,
We got about another 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to do
a part two
investigation and do a part two on this.
Absolutely.
Get some people involved, because I don't think I feel comfortable challenging the system in this province, because I don't need to. I've never been in family court. I've never had these issues.
Wow. You're lucky.
I am. I've got 2 children who I speak. My daughter lives here with me and with her son-in-law, and I speak to my kids multiple times every day. And I'm going to be a grandfather in 60 days for the second time.
Nice.
To 2 girls. So I don't need this, but I'm here for my good friend Mary Kovacs. I have from the beginning. My wife passed away 7-8 months ago, and her sister got alienated. The kids were alienated from the youngest brother. So it's happened in my wife's family, and nobody is really immune to this stuff. It's like giving new meaning to Uncle Sam is watching you, because don't think you can be immune to this. It'll get you, kind of thing.
Right. And with Lee not having a child with this person.
Yeah, this is bizarre.
This is really out of the ordinary. So my apologies to be so blown away by this, but it just goes to show that corruption is at its finest.
I mean, you could go further. I mean, I'm pretty connected here in Sault Ste. Marie. You could have a meeting with our MPP. My phone is going through the roof here. And you could push it and talk to people that have direct contact with Doug Ford, but it's a long process. It's not take 5 to 10 years to change it, if you're lucky at the end of that time period.
Well, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. I just that's why I've done this channel, because everything that I'm talking about, everything I've gone through, can all be referenced on the channel. It's all very truthful and factual. The problem is, I need to get a meeting with this Minister of Justice or the Attorney General, because this is where the problem is with this Canadian Judicial Council is very broken and biased. The 2 MPs here in Burlington, Miss Natalie Pierre and Miss Karina Gold, they're moving very slow talking to them. But to be honest, I'm not very confident that they're able to do anything. So that's kind of where I'm at. I have to go public because I'm being silenced. But the Minister of Justice needs to investigate this, and I believe if I'm gonna be blunt, I believe Justice Martha Ann Tweedy needs to be investigated and potentially removed from bench. And I'll stand ground on that for what she did to me. And not only that, the trial judge. There's a lot of questionable misconduct and judicial abuse from him as well. And I have all the evidence.
Right. But that's
So
an
It's all
enormous
about
fact.
money.
Yeah.
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 It's all about the money, and they'll put you through hell. It doesn't matter where they're going to put you now.
they are.
That's right.
They are putting me through hell. And I just recently said something, to get to heaven, you got to go through hell first.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's like us being married to a narcissist. You got to go through hell before you can get out of it,
Jeez.
right? And it's so true, because they're going to hell. We'll be in heaven, hopefully, for
Yeah.
doing the right thing. But we could only do so much of the right thing.
Yes.
We need people to start listening and stop turning a blind eye, because who knows, it's their children that's going to be going through this, and it's going to get worse.
Right.
This is generational abuse, and it's been going on for a long time.
You're not
Yeah,
going to
bacon.
get the right what you're looking for the Attorney General from the Attorney General of Ontario. You have to go higher than that.
Yeah,
Right.
we've gone to the Attorney General, and the answers we got was all BS. We knew we were all scripted. We couldn't go off script, and he blocked me when I outed him. I mean, come on, you're my Attorney General. If you're going to be bragging about, putting hybrid cameras into the courts, why aren't we getting access to it? Like, really, it's been going on way too long.
Right.
So,
And
so
I think
let's
that's
get these cameras rolling for you.
yes, exactly. I think that's the end goal.
Yes.
The public needs cameras in the courtroom, and because a lot of this will be, caught on camera, and also too, a lot of this judicial abuse will not be happening as much because we're watching.
We're watching.
And if they want to be transparent and honest, I think that's the first step is do not deny audio recordings, do not block out transcripts, and we need more transparency in these courtrooms to reduce this judicial abuse that we're all facing.
Right.
But the thing is, Lee, and this is my last word on this, we'll do a part B. Most of the people of Ontario, 14.7 million, closing in on 15 million in this province, they don't care unless you're affected by these issues. The average person, whether you're in Waterloo, in Kitchener, in Sault Ste. Marie, in Hamilton, in Ottawa, in all four corners of this province, Red Lake, Dryden, they don't care because they're not affected by these issues.
Absolutely.
Sorry to be blunt like this,
No,
but it's the truth.
But it's the truth, and we all know.
This day and age, I don't trust very many people in this world in 2025. Auld-Kovacs is one person I trust 1,000%, but not very many.
And I'm the same. I mean, we have limited all these people that have 10, 20, 30, 50 friends. Are they really friends, or are they the ones that are going to be stabbing you in the back? And basically that's what happens. We really only need someone that's, close to us that we can rely on if anything does happen to us. I mean, who's there to find you dead on the street if someone decides to knock you down, right? Who do you call?
Right.
At least you have someone that can help you. But if they take that source away from you too, because that's how they do it. They isolate you from all your contacts while you're in family court. And I mean, criminal court makes them bring in the families into the courtrooms. Why is family court taking our families away from us to be able to sit there and watch?
Right.
It's just a mixed up situation here, because the public and family should be in family courtrooms. So if we get to come in to watch you, I mean, hey, I'm just down the road. I'll come to your next court case.
Mhm.
You know, I could be your Mackenzie friend just to sit there and listen.
Well,
So,
they're all done right now so far. Like this lawyer's threatening to put me in contempt and stuff, and it's just it's psychotic what he's doing. But the thing is this: if you look at my trial with all these forms missing, the lies and stuff, cameras need to be in these courtrooms because
mhm.
right there off the hop, when you say, hey, the restraining order application is not signed, trial schedule endorsement form isn't filed, trial record was served 8 days and not 20, and I've got 24 hours notice for a trial, and and the judge is like, well, we're here now, we're going to deal with it. Well, what about the rules that we're supposed to be respecting and abiding by? It's just a sham.
Right.
My case is a sham. Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
But
Well, I hate
sorry,
to,
sorry to be blunt, but the odds of that are like the Lotto Max is 1 in 33 million. The odds of getting cameras in the courtroom are that kind of odds, or even more than that right now.
well,
well,
Andy, the cameras are there. They are there. The cameras have always been in the courtrooms.
But they need to
You
be
just need
turned
to switch
on.
it on.
Yeah,
Jesus.
that's right.
You know, so what's it going to take to do that? It's not going to cost us any money.
Right.
It's why they're doing it. Why are they not switching it on? It's to hide the corruption. It's to
Yes.
make money. So
Remember, you asked the Attorney General of Ontario that question? He skated around it. He didn't answer it properly.
that's right. That's what I'm saying. I was just telling Lee that we
Mhm.
interviewed the Attorney General on the cameras, and it, you know, we're scripted to watch what we say with him, but yeah, he didn't know what to say. He was
You
stuttering.
have no idea, Lee, how much we were scripted on that.
You
Right.
know, we're here for you. We're here for everybody in
Thank you.
Canada. I mean, I don't just sit here and talk on my podcast. I work
Mhm.
hard. I search
This
research for
woman works
everybody.
harder than anybody I've seen. From morning to night, I see all her posts.
Mhm.
Nobody works as hard in this province.
Mhm.
No. And I wish I could get more supporters out there. I mean, Facebook deleted 18 years of my work. I was one of
Wow.
the first advocates promoting parental alienation back in 2007.
Mhm.
2018, they decided to wipe me out after we were, into the hundreds of thousands of viewers and supporters.
Jeez.
And now I got suspended again 180 days, but the 180 days turned into deleting my pages again from 2018 to 2020, 180 days ago. So that was 2024 of October, November, I got suspended. And I'm thinking, I'm only doing what's right. I'm not doing
Yeah.
anything wrong. I was a truth teller because I have it all in black and white. If I didn't have it in black and white, I wouldn't open my mouth. I wouldn't be,
Yeah. No, you're
accusing
being
someone
honest.
of something. So people got to understand that we truth tellers are telling the truth. This is not all conspiracy theory. This is, not bullshit. We're not here to get fame and glory by fighting for our health, because this is taking us down.
Oh
We are
yeah.
getting heart disease, diabetes, COPD, broken heart. I mean, we're broke. We're living
Right.
on the streets. The homeless is just piling up out there because they're being robbed of their homes, their assets, their children,
Yes.
everything. And where you are is where we go to get all that taken away from us. And you should never be in family court. Let's get you back into the real court that you belong in.
Well, to be honest, that's going to have to be the civil superior court, and it's going to have to take a team of lawyers who are going to have to challenge. Like, there's just no more judicial review. There's no more filing complaints. This is judicial abuse 101. And like I've got one judge who went behind my back and deleted a 10-page endorsement down to one. If that's not forgery, I don't know what is. And it's mission crucial information, and everyone just sloughed it off like, oh, it's no, they didn't talk about it. So this, yeah, it's the thing is, no one wants to go against the system,
No,
No,
they
especially
don't. No,
especially
that's
lawyers
right.
that are going there every day, because then they're going to be labeled, right? And
Right. Right, because they're there for the judges. They're not there for the clients. They're there for the
Right.
judges. But anyways, we're 50 minutes into the program. Andy's hungry. We're gonna have to let.
Well, my daughter just sent me a message that dinner's getting cold, so
Okay,
I gotta get going.
but we'll
Okay.
get you back for part 2, Lee. I mean, this has been a great podcast. We're learning a lot
Thank
from
you.
you, and we wish you the best. Stay safe,
Thank you.
and
All right, for
reach
sure.
out to us anytime. And I just want to say goodbye to our viewers, Andy. It's been nice having you back together. I feel a little bit more comfortable sometimes when you're there beside me. So,
All right.
but yeah, it's nice to have you back on Sunday nights. We have a few coming up this week, but right now I don't have my date book. But
Well, next
I'll keep
Sunday
you posted.
there's another show, and then I will be on my way back from Toronto on September 21st. Not sure whether I
Oh,
can
right,
do that
right.
one or not. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So I got a show next Sunday, and then when you come back on the 21st, yeah, with a psychologist. So yes.
All right, Lee. Nice
Thank
meeting
you.
you then.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Andy.
Take
And
care.
thank
All
you,
the
Mary.
best.
Appreciate it. And if you guys have a chance, check out my YouTube channel. Let's talk about it. And everything is laid out plain as day with what I'm talking about. So thank you again to the two of you for having me on.
All
Perfect.
right. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Thank
See
you.
you later.
Bye.
All right. Okay, bye.